Today I'm gonna be playing a few games with this pretty interesting Solgaleo Kyogre team that Gabriele Mocciaro used for the Victory Road Season 12 challenge that happened recently. The most interesting 2 months on this team are definitely the true restricted, since neither of them are what is usually run for them. With Solgaleo, the most common item and the one I would expect if I went up against it would be weakness policy. But as there aren't many good enablers for weakness policy, the Assault Vest item was chosen just to add some more bulk to the team. If you want a full breakdown, I'm gonna link the tournament report that Gabriele did in the description. I'm just gonna go over a few of the most interesting things I found about the team. The other interesting thing about the Kyogre, at least, is that instead of going for full speed, full attack with water spout, this Kyogre is bulky and let's use water spout in favor of Calm Mind to get some special defense and special attack boost, while also being EV so that they can take full advantage from the defense boost from Max Steel Spike. The rest of the team is pretty standard, with pretty common spreads on most of the mons, so let's just get into some games. Here we are in the first match of the day up against Zacian Kyogre, and against this combination I think Solgaleo is the most tempting max option here. Zapdos also could be interesting, I guess, so I will probably lead either Solgaleo and Zapdos along with the main thing that I want to not enable would be the Among Us, because if it gets up a score that would be bad. And I think in the back I'm just gonna bring both of my restricted, since neither Landorus or Incineroar seem to be too good against Kyogre. So I'm just gonna try it like this. I could be wrong about the lead, but I think these are the 4 that you're supposed to bring in this matchup. We'll see if that's a correct lead against what they bring here, but I don't think I would have done anything differently. And interesting. Grims definitely seems okay here. We're pretty free to. The question is whether we even want to map. I think I'm not gonna max here and just put up a like screen, hoping that Zapdos will survive the water spout. And since we're safety goals, we're gonna ignore the rage powder if they go for that. So the only scary thing from Among Us would be Spore into the Grimmsnarl slot. And interesting, they're gonna max Kyogre, which I would expect means they're gonna fire off a max Hailstorm into a Zapdos slot. Looks like they respect safety goals. Oh yeah, the paralysis is extremely nice. And they spore the Grimmsnarl slot, as expected. I think in this spot I'm just gonna take one of my sleep turns with Grimmsnarl and go for Hurricane into the Among Us. Our maxing here doesn't really do that much, so I'm just gonna wait out their max. Their Among Us is Cobra, so even a max Airstream wouldn't have done much. Max Geyser shouldn't do... oh. Interesting. I wouldn't have expected that, but I guess we're no bulk on this one. What I definitely want to prevent here is Spore onto the Solgaleo, and while it would be nice to get off Max Lightning into Kyogre, that would be pretty risky, as they could go for a Max Guard here, and I don't want to risk that here, so I'm just gonna knock out the Among Us with Max Mindstorm. And against these two, if the last one is Zacian, which I expect it is, it's not gonna do a ton. They don't go for the Max Guard, so it would have been okay to go for the electric terrain here, but I didn't want to risk it. Grimmsnarl takes another turn of sleep, which isn't great, but it works. Yeah, Solgaleo takes this one. And even... I don't think Behemoth Blade can even get a KO at all. I would expect them to go for Protect here on the Zacian, so the best option for this just to try to get a Reflect here. This game's pretty much locked up. I don't see how they can get away with this one here. And that even though the Grimmsnarl was asleep for most of it. So it takes a 3-turn sleep, beam of blade into Grimmsnarl is gonna get the knockout. Yeah. And now we're at this game here, and I could have gone for a max Quake and Zacian lost, but I was expecting them to go for a Protect here, so I wanted to go for the defense boost on Solgaleo. I'm going for a Combine Tier since even if they crit close combat into us, it won't really matter here. And they play rough. Okay, crit would have taken us out. But unless they go for Thunder into Kyogre, we should be okay. And especially with the death boost, we should take Origin Pulse. And we're even faster, so I'm not sure if Thunder even KOs here. We'll see. And they don't go for the Kyogre, so now we just have this in-game locked up definitely. I could have risked this game at some more points to ensure that we win, but playing it like this was pretty much a good play. Even the Reflect here isn't gonna do a ton since we have Wild Charge, which is gonna take out a bunch of their damage. And if Origin Pulse double connect here, I think that should be game. Okay. I didn't expect Kyogre to do so little damage, but I don't have any option of coming back here. So, yeah, in the end, in this game, their supporting two Pokemon just were way too passive, and we won even through a 3-turn sleep on our Grimmsnarl. By virtue of slowing out their Dynamax on their Kyogre. Okay, the lucky paralyzed didn't hurt, but I think. Okay, well, I guess it did matter on the first turn. We would have been in a way worse spot if I were able to take out the Zapdos, and it would have been a lot closer in the end. But I still think we would have been able to get there even if we don't get the paralyze on the Thunderbolt turn 1. So yeah, that was it wasn't really close per se, but It could have been won more decisively, and I'm not sure if I played the cleanest that I could. But against Zacian Ogre, this team should definitely be favored. So yeah, on to the next game. Here we are up against Zacian and Calyrex-Shadow right now. I think what we're gonna... I'm not sure what the best way is for this team to deal with Calyrex, as well, I don't really see a great way to challenge Calyrex here. Kyogre is definitely threatened by Rillaboom, so we almost are forced to bring Insane here. And I could see trying out Solgaleo. I think I'm gonna go Grimmsnarl and Solgaleo with Insane and Kyogre in the back. Through a Reflect, Solgaleo should be able to take one of the one or even two Astral Barrages, and if not, I don't really see any way we ever win this matchup. But I can't do interest. I definitely want to get a light screen during this game, so that's what I'm gonna go for. And I expect them to max the Blastoise here, but if they don't, our max lightning should take it out, and if they max it, it should deal a bunch of damage. The residual damage here is definitely something to look out for. However, our Kyogre ignores it. Rain Dance from their side, interesting. And they are probably gonna max Cannonade into Grimmsnarl. Wakan Berry makes sense here. This wouldn't have done much even without the berry. And I get a knockout here. Okay, it was great. Definitely this matter here. Through the light screen, I don't think that they would have gotten that amount of damage with just random. They are gonna either impulse us here but to be honest, that doesn't really worry me that much. Can do very little into Solgaleo here. The question here is whether we want to waste the max move on Blastoise or if we go for the Thunder with max weapon, hoping to get the KO, but they have Citrus, so tough luck. And then right into the Solgaleo still isn't busted. Oh. Okay, double knockout there. Definitely is good. The main problem we're faced with now is the last two are most likely they're too restricted, which are gonna give us a ton of trouble. Since I would expect Calyrex here to be either choice scarf or focus sash. So I think there's not really a way we can win this. Yeah, Solgaleo is gonna survive that. And the Water Flame were paid to switch an instant here. So instead we'll just let them get an attack, special attack boost. Our angle here is to hope that they're not sashed. They don't go for a Sacred Sword or close combat into instant, or they even protect it here. So yeah, I think Origin Pulse is gonna be our best bet here, and we just have to hope that they go for double protect here. Okay, in that case, going for Calm Mind would have been better. But our suspicion is confirmed. They are most likely sash on Calyrex. So yeah, I don't think there's a way we can win here. Astral Barrage is not gonna do a lot to Insane, and it doesn't even... Well, and the crit, yeah, that definitely mattered there. Yeah, and we don't even get any knockout thanks to the Spadef drops from the Thunderous. If we would have gone for the Calm Mind, we might have been able to get somewhere, maybe. But even then, I doubt that we would have been in that great of a spot here. So all we can hope for is a crit on either one of them. And even then, it might not be enough. Yeah. And that's the game. So yeah, it definitely seems like this team has problems against Calyrex-Shadow Rider. I don't really see what's an answer toward it outside of Incineroar and the Snarl, but I think even Sucker Punch on the Grimmsnarl would go long ways towards dealing with that, but other than that I don't really see another option with how the team is built right now. This team definitely has favorable matchups into Zacian Kyogre, which is the most used restricted combo, and against most Zacian teams this should be favored, which is great because Zacian is the most used one. I think it can struggle a lot against Calyrex-Shadow Rider, with Solgaleo being almost one-shot through even light screen. I don't think it's gonna be one jump from full health, but as long as it has some chip on it, even light screen isn't gonna be enough. And Incineroar as the only answer doesn't really work that well. What I could see being pretty interesting on this team would be Porygon 2, as it enables another game mode for this team, as well as taking advantage of both the Spadef and defense boost from Max Solgaleo with the access to recover, as well as the ability to not take any damage from Astral Barrage, and having access to Foul Play to deal a bunch of damage to Calyrex-Shadow Rider. Overall, I don't think I'm gonna change anything about this team for now. I definitely need some more games with it, and Gabriele did manage to top 4 a 500 person event, so it can't be that bad. And again, if you want to read in-depth tournament report as well as some of the main ideas into team building with this team, I'm gonna link the team report article in the description.